I'm so glad that you decided to do this. So the reason I have been a radio show host for a long time, and when I came to Favorited, something told me, the higher ups, that there was an opportunity to do a podcast like environment over here. Coffee Talk is mine, and to be able to showcase some of the hosts on here in different ways that we might not get to know them, because live streamers are leaders, and we tend to just run the show and forget to say, hey, this is what I did. This is where I grew up. This is who I am professionally, personally. So the stage, I start with you because I don't know whether somebody wants to go on a. We've had people talk about trauma. We've had people talk about college, and so the stage is open. And hi, Meggs is an OG and affiliate here on Favorited. Favorited is the app where you love to love, and we lift each other up. The hosts lift each other up, and we don't tear each other down. Never. Hi, Meggs.
Hi, Coach Peggy. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so delighted for the opportunity to be lifted and loved by you. A
Mm-hmm.
rising tide lifts all boats, and you, my darling, are the tide in my life today.
Oh, I'm tied in your. Now I can see the blue shirt, and you're probably going to tell me it's green.
I mean, here's the thing. It's absolutely blue. My hair is apparently not. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I can deal with it. It's fine.
So maybe start with us because you were on TikTok. Talk to us about the. Maybe we'll start with the how you, what platforms you're on, how you ended up on Favorite, how long you've been here, why you want to be a host, and then we can dive into the personal Megs.
Oh, great. Well, actually, the TikTok portion of Megs is the personal Megs, as a matter of fact. First, again, thank you for the opportunity. I have to tell everyone, without confessing, the deep, dark, dirty truth, I am older than I look, much younger than I feel. I am older than I look. And with that, I can tell you that for the majority of my life, I have been a nurturer and a mother in some way, shape, or form, and have been the leader, the household, the breadwinner, the go-getter, and the provider. So with that, harkening back to my youth, when I did find so much joy and delight in the creative arts, I was trained classically to sing opera in the theater and doing all this incredible creative stuff. And then I became a very young mother and had to put those things aside to work. And so I worked and 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 worked. And my life and my youth and my vibrancy all got sucked right out of me from corporate America. And I did 25, a quarter of a century in the mortgage business. And then woke up, many mornings just thinking, there's lots of fulfillment in my life and lots of things that I found joy in, but I just felt like there were so many talents and abilities that I was blessed with, and I just was not using them. And I just felt like I should be. And having children, having responsibilities, having, not enough time. Couldn't think of a way to be able to put those back to youth, right? When I used to sing, it was in shows, and shows take time and effort, and it's late nights and early morning. I couldn't think of a way that would apply. As part of my mortgage career, there was a push for marketing, and they kind of asked me to do a couple of videos, and it's not good, and and then somebody said, well, go figure out TikTok, or go be on Facebook and try this and try that. And I had a YouTube channel where I did some Christian music, some singing, and I got some enjoyment there, but not like I don't have a huge following. But this was winter of 2023. Is that right? Yes, winter of 2023. I went ahead and created a TikTok account, and I put out a few mortgage Meggers tips. Hey, let's
Mm-hmm.
talk about escrow, or hey, did you know what earnest money is? Kind of things like that. And I put out a few, not a big deal. But then I scrolled across a follow train, kind of a theme, and I kind of went ham. I was like, wait. This could be fun. I started figuring out how to edit videos, and I put my love of hilarious 80s movies and awesome freaking fire like music together and made some hilarious, awesome videos. And I was like, wait, this is like something creative I can do at home. So I started doing little videos outside of Mortgage Meggers, and I was on a little follow train and got some following. So this was about 6 months, not a big deal. But in July of 2024, I found Favorited. And I came here and I went live. Now I'd gone live on TikTok a few times, and it was terrible. I got molested in the chat. I'm a rated G host. I try and live my life in a way where I can have the Holy Spirit as my constant companion. So I try and never watch or consume anything that has anything other than uplifting, positive, light-filled content, right? So just that where something is said that I could never even imagine the
Yeah.
yuckiness, and it's just like
Oh,
right there, and you can't unsee it or unimagine it, and then bleh. So I came here and thought I'd just try it. And it was the most wonderful experience. And I kind of started to see what else this could be. Because here
okay.
I am, I'm an actress, I'm a singer, I'm a teacher, I'm an entertainer. Apparently, girl, I'm a crafter. Okay. Like,
I so believe that in you.
I
You
mean,
are.
everybody asked me if I'm a
Were you a
kindergarten teacher.
cheerleader in high school and
I,
decorated lockers?
the size of Texas, I could have been a spotter, but no, I'm not that coordinated.
Because you're so motivating. And we always decorated lockers for the basketball team. And so I was thinking of all your little crafty things. Your kids you must
I
love it.
mean, I certainly love to be able to love people, and I don't find it hard to love most people.
Right.
I've been blessed. I think Heavenly Father put me in a time and a place
Big
where
heart. Yeah.
people are just easy to love for me, and
Right.
it's one of the things that I think it's a
Has it been
spiritual gift.
hard for you in your life to set those boundaries where you kind of
There
have
are
to
no
and got
boundaries. I'm very open,
mm,
and I think that God did make me the size of a linebacker because He knew that if I was the size of a normal girl, I would have been taken advantage of much more than I ever had been. So one of my biggest trials in life is being a tall person, a big person, and not being treated like a girl. Right? I'm always treated like a dude. There's Meg, one of
mm,
the dudes, right? But that's also for my protection, right? Because I'm so open and so loving and just get you and squish it and squeeze you,
yeah.
that I think that would have put me in a lots of different predicaments if I had been something other.
And so, did you also get nurtured by that and watching and mentored from your family, mom, dad? And I know you've had a recent loss, and I love you so much. But your sister, I don't even know. You have one or two sisters.
I have 6 sisters and 1 brother. I am number 7 of 8. My 5 older sisters were all kind of looped together, and then there was quite a large gap. And then my brother and I, he's the only boy, of course, and then a little bit of a gap in my little sister. So I effectively am a middle child between the only boy in the family and my special needs sister. Katie has Down syndrome. So when Katie was born, when I say I've been a mother or a caregiver pretty much my whole life, when Katie was born, she was my baby, and I helped my mom with her. I helped with Katie's, all her speech therapy, helping her read, and all those things. I would come home from kindergarten off the bus, and it would be time to help Katie with her activities and things like that. So that's been something that I've done my whole life. So as far as the nurturing, my sisters tell me that for the first 5 years of my life, I was never put down because I was the baby. But after that, but no, I was the nurturer.
You were the nurturer. And in school, what did you focus on your arts in school when you were in high school? Were you part of the or
So for
orchestra
me,
chorus?
I'm a clever person, and I think things come really quickly to me. So I didn't really learn how to work at school, and I learned the work ethic after I had to, right after I became a young mother and really had to work. Um, as far as school work, I didn't do great in school. I did graduate high school, whew, but just barely
Hmm.
because I was
Hmm.
so distracted by, yes, it was theater, it was drama, it was choir. I always did competitions. Again, I was trained to sing opera, so I always did, the state competitions. And my mom was convinced that I would be, at the Met and doing opera, and I liked to sing. I enjoyed performing, but it's really not what I really wanted to do. If you asked me what I really wanted to do, it would have changed every day. I want to be a jeweler. I want to be a psychiatrist. I want to be, sure, I'll be an actress. No, I want to be a model. No, I want to make clothes. No, I want to travel. It was just interesting in everything, interested in everything.
Interested in everything. That's right. So when you look back, are there any regrets that you have in, like, even if it's in your professional, was it being too much? I did the corporate America thing for 25 years too, and it just beats the crap out of you, especially go-getters and people like us who want to
Mhm.
fix. Is there any regrets, a couple of regrets? Or, I mean, we
Oh
can't
my
change,
goodness
you know,
gracious. Well, the
she's
mom
like,
guilt
yeah,
is
oh,
real. Are
where's,
you kidding me? And I look at my mama and she will say things. And of course, coming at it from, hindsight,
Right.
there's always things that you would do differently. And when I hear my mom say things that I say so myself, my heart goes out to my mom. And I'm like, of course you did the best you could. Of course you would. But when you say it about yourself, right? We need to be more gentle and more kind with ourselves. We really need to give ourselves more grace. We need to treat ourselves like we treat our friends, right?
Right.
You would never tell your friends things you tell yourself, those nasty things you
Absolutely.
tell yourself, right? But I do, right, that, being the breadwinner, especially the having being a single mother for a long time before I was married. Um, and then putting in just the slave hours of work, my family will never remember that I won corporate awards, or that I was acknowledged here
Amen.
or there, or that we had a nice house, or that we ate lobster once. Like, they don't remember that. My I have two children. I have two boys, and my oldest, when I think he got on honor roll, and I was really proud of him. And I said, my darling, whatever you want, whatever you want. Do you want to go to Disneyland? Do you want to go to Hawaii? Like, you can have anything. And he said, Mom, I want you home for dinner tonight.
Oh, girl, you know what? I'm going to cry because you know what? I asked my oldest son the same thing one day, and I said, "What will you remember most about mom?" You know what he said? That she was never home and the house was clean. I hear you.
Yep. So, ironically, my darling, ironically,
I hear
after
you.
25 years of doing this career, and I'm so blessed to be able to provide for my family, and I learned a lot, and I was able to travel quite a bit, and just, even though I wasn't singing or acting, I most certainly was putting my presentation skills and communication skills were being used. So I don't want to say that I neglected or didn't appreciate the talents that I was given. I most certainly, by the sweat of your face, you're going to earn your bread, right? I had to work.
Right.
But I most certainly am grateful that, well, out of a beauty for ashes. So I got a phone call in October, getting laid off. I was working with this company for the last 10 years, senior
Okay.
executive. And it's a mortgage business, which has gone through a real hit the last few years. So I was laid off in October, and they assumed that I would just walk away because the only position they had for me was something with like a 60% pay cut. And I was like, oh, no, 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 I will take the job. I will take that. Like, I just need a job. Like, so they had me doing just some kind of little side job in HR for a bit. And we kind of juggled a little. This is before Favorite really took off.
Right.
And so it was really scary. But after 6 months, that was October, Jamaica joined us in December. And then the TikTok crash happened in January, and things kind of really started taking off. And my husband and I started having conversations about how this really could be a thing. I'd never had a job. Like, there's been aspects of work that I've enjoyed before. And
Hmm.
I've been, I found fulfillment in some of my work, but I've never woken up and said, well, there's been a few days where I've liked my job. And ironically, those have been the days where I've been working on projects where this kind of thing has been a thing for
Ah,
11 years. But
yeah. Yeah.
we were having conversations like, what would it look like if I actually quit my job and I could do this? Like, it could be live stream, like, right? Um, what ended up happening, my darling, is that I got in January a call from my company, and they said, hey, listen, we things are picking up a little bit. We have a different offer. We can put you over here in sales. It's not exactly what you were doing before, but it's a little bit better. Instead of, actually, it was, instead of a 60% pay cut like I had taken, it was 40%. So it's still not where you were, but it's better, and the things that favored it were going better. And it was like, okay, that was so great, so great. This whole time, though, my dad's health is declining. My mom's not doing great. And I'm just thinking, okay, wouldn't it be wonderful? Like, if I could do favorited full time, and then I would be able to take care of my parents more, like take mom shopping on Tuesdays. My little sister still lives with them, Katie. She still has her special needs. Like, maybe I could take Katie to her special programs and just help. Just help. They live down the hill from me. We moved them up here, 4 years ago or 3 years ago. So they're literally like 4 minutes down the hill from me. So, like, I could do these things. Wouldn't that be lovely?
Right.
So I got a phone call on April 8th, that my dad, who had fallen and broken his hip and had gone through some health struggles, had decided that he was not going to. Um, keep the feeding tube that he had needed to get the nutrition to go to the rehab center to get better. He decided he was going to have it removed and come home and die.
Okay. That's okay.
And
Yeah.
then 10 minutes later, I got a phone call from work saying, we're going to have to lay you off. And so when that phone call came from work, I had the biggest sense of peace and, frankly, Peggy, relief that I actually could now spend time with my dad before he was going to leave, and my mom during whatever turmoil and issue and whatever is going to happen. They've been married 65 years. She's
Megs.
seasoned, and there. But what a blessing! What a blessing! And did you not hear me say that this is like the most fun and the most enjoyment and the funnest job I have ever had? And so officially, hello, I'm a full-time live streamer here on Favorited. My dad did pass away 2 days later. And so we're having his funeral a week from today.
Saturday.
And and we're doing okay. But my darlings, the fact that God has a plan for all of us and it's his timing. And if we just have um if we have faith that it works out in the end and that it's for our benefit, and if we have faith that in the end it is going to work out, and if it's not working out yet, it's not the end. That we just keep pressing forward with faith. I'm just really grateful that for the 25 years I was able to take care of my family, and for the last 6 months that Favorited has been able to float us, and whatever happens, we'll be okay.
Wow.
So that's my social media journey. I've been an official live streamer for less than a month, or actually, yeah, a month tomorrow, and my darlings, and in social media involved for like 9 months.
You know, very few times am I on this side of the mic and get speechless, right? Because I usually when yeah, and I know you a little bit obviously. This is exactly why I do this, you guys. This is exactly why I do this. And we feel so much closer to you than the already transparent and authentic self that you show up with every live. It doesn't matter if you're having a bad day or if you're out of candy and Cheetos are all over your bed. I listen to you and I listen to you, and this is exactly how you always show up. You guys, if you have any questions in the chat's been moving right along. If there are any specific questions, Maeve's heart's going out to you, Angie's
Thank
heart's
you.
going out to you. There's lots of love going on. Nick is saying hello. Um, oh yeah, and isn't that 10 minutes difference, and that you felt relief, Megs? Is that not a sign? Is that uh, unbelievable, amazing? Is there any call to action that you would give anybody in regards to what you've learned, life's lesson, if you are a mama bear, and that you would like to say to any of our listeners or future listeners as to, like, hey, you guys, tomorrow's a new day, a new dawn? What would it be?
I mean, there's lots of things that I kind of mantras that I profess, right? And their little catchphrases, right? A rising tide lifts all boats. You be the tide and lift those around you, right? Recognize that there's goodness in the world no matter where you are, and be lifted by positive things in the world, and don't let the darkness that is there drag you down, right? I also say comparison is the thief of joy. You're
Beautiful.
comparing your other people's best to your worst, or other people's worst to your worst. You can't invalidate what you're going through, your experience, for better or worse, with anyone else. You are your own unique, incredible individual. um, I think that the two main things, though, that I oh shoot
It's okay,
thanks.
sweetheart. Here's your big
um,
sister giving you this tissue. Okay.
I think the two main things. One that I say often on my live, and I think I attribute the viewership I have, and I'm going to say gratefully the success that I have on Favorited is the consistency with which my message is relayed, not necessarily so much in word, often in word, I guess, but more in just kind of message. Is that the individuals, every single person that you're ever going to come in contact with, it doesn't matter what you've ever done in your life, good or bad, what you're currently doing, good or bad, whatever you think is good or bad, right? Or what you ever could do. I don't care if you cure cancer in the future. Uh, your worth does not change. You're not going to be worth any more than or less than anyone else. I don't care if you are sitting in prison. I don't care if you are, President Trump. I don't care who you are. You are not worth any more or less than anyone else. And I think that if you truly understand that truth, that divine nature that is within all of us, then you treat yourself and others differently. And I think others recognize that and can feel that love
Yeah,
and respond to it. And I think that that has a lot to do with the way that people are responding to the community work that we do here on Favorited.
I agree.
Um, Ultimately, though, I say that I've been blessed with a kind of an eternal optimism with this. I say it's Pollyanna-ish, and often it is. But I've lived a life, girl. I've lived a life, But I feel like there's beauty all around when there's love at home.
Mm.
And if you didn't get it,
You're such an old soul.
you can still make it. You can still provide it. I did get it. I had a really loving home. And I think that really set an incredible baseline for how I relate with the world, how I negotiate through the world, and how I was taught to see others. Um, what I was able to provide as a single parent was not ideal, and what I'm doing now is not perfect, but much better, I think, than my first go around. I'm so grateful that I have learned some of the lessons that I have, but I'm still learning. And I'm grateful for all the things that I don't know because I get to still learn and change and grow. And there's always opportunity to pivot and change
Right.
and recognize when I have made mistakes, which are often, right? I say that we should multiply and magnify our talents. And boy, do I have a talent for mistakes. Just call me Anne
Mm.
Shirley because I am constantly falling on my face, constantly just, ah. But when I wake up with each day fresh, no mistakes in it yet, I know that there is a God
Whoops.
above who loves me.
Hold on tight here. Let me be right back. There we go. Megs, if you could give, we've got a streaming, obviously we're live streaming right now. And one thing that you said is that everybody is kind of their own brand. Do you, boo? I always say this. I said this morning to Country Coach. We both have this pen. We're both on the stage. We're both coaches and we're both going to present and do things differently. And with the frustrations that people have on this app or any app, right? They're tired, whatever. Um, it's consistency, it's dedication,
Yeah.
it's loyalty, it's all of those things that you are. Is there anything that you'd want to share with anybody as a new streamer or a current streamer getting tired? Just give us some advice.
Well, I think for me personally, I have one day off a week. It is for religious reasons. I keep the Sabbath day holy and I don't stream one day a week. But I think ultimately that is important for everyone, no matter what, to take time away. We have a lot of people, especially if you catch the bug, the love to love, right? The app for people who love to love. You get there, you're like, this community is awesome. Oh my gosh, I'm giving gifts and I'm receiving gifts and this community is so great. We're having so much fun. And you get this fire and then you realize you have not slept for 2 days, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, like, all you're doing is you're always on your phone and you're documenting your whole life and you're having a hard time separating IRL versus RRL, and it's just this. Okay. So to have a time away, dedicated time away, whether that is a daily break, a weekly break, a monthly break, something where you walk away and you take off your shoes and socks and connect with Mother Earth, or you meditate, or you listen to peaceful music, that to have that time away is one of the biggest pieces of advice I can give you,
That's really good.
to ensure that, remember that you are in the world, but not of the
Really,
world. Yeah.
yeah, in the world, not of the world. I have two final questions for you. Number one, I would ask you, where do you see yourself by the end of the year? Let's just say, forward thinking a little bit. Maybe it's the exact same thing, but where do you see yourself? I'm just going to live day by day, she said.
So here's the thing, Coach Peggy.
I love this.
I try not to see myself. Okay.
Okay. Say
That's
more.
kind of an onion statement. We can just leave it at that.
If you know, you know.
Yeah. I think with regard to goals, what I'd like to see is, so I've done a big initial investment here at Favorited. I just cracked the solar, woohoo, number 8, which everyone's like, congratulations. I'm like, it's amazing, unless you knew how upside down I was. So I'd love to be able to recoup the investment that I made
Right.
to marketing myself here on Favorited.
Right.
What I'd like to see is the consistency and the hard work paying off in the app continuing to grow, and the
It's beautiful.
belief and the reality that this really is the app for people who love to love, staying firm, and that we grow the community and grow in the
Good.
positivity and love that's here.
That's good. Okay, it's your off time. So we're going to leave it in a very positive note. What does Meg do for the F word we can say? And that's for fun.
Hmm.
What does
This,
Meg do for fun? Because we are G.
this, I do this. This is my fun. Isn't that weird? Okay, but also I eat candy. I watch Korean dramas. Like, I love Korean dramas. I love Korean food. I'm all about the K drama. Actually, I'm doing C dramas too. As a matter of fact, when I'm done streaming, I roll up in that bed. I get my candy sack. I turn on my K drama, and if I sleep, I doze off to Korean dramas. Is that weird?
You know, just when
From
you think
something
we're
that
getting to know you just a little bit, Pow Pow is saying Meg's for president.
Am I married? Dr. Paul, thank you for asking. Did you know in August I'll be celebrating my 20th anniversary?
I'm so proud of you. I'm
Thank
proud of you.
you.
Megs, out on the street, I know you can't often hear what people say about you out on the streets because you're busy and you're live streaming. Your reputation on this app brings tears to my eyes because it's so lovely that people actually brag and talk about someone so lovely. It is. Your name is said, it is looked up to, it is respected, and I mean that from the very, very bottom of my heart. Somebody said to me the other day, it was Pow Pow. I was in a battle with him, and he said, "Welcome to Coach Peggy with the coolest hair on the app, and she is Meg's number 2."
Hmm.
And that was seriously the sweetest thing. So I just want you to know, because you know what? Some days we don't hear that, right, directly, and just know that that's on the streets.
Thank
And I'm
you.
honored that you showed up, and the support you gave to me as a brand new host the day you showed up brand new. You trickle, you sprinkle, you come in, you bang on the back door, you sneak out the front, you sneaky little thing. Yeah, she's original gangster.
That's what we do, baby. Thank you so much
Thank
for having me, Coach. And
you. Absolutely, love.
for everyone that's on this side, if you haven't already, you would be absolutely remiss if you haven't gone over and poked on her picture and given her a follow, rung her bell. And then, my darlings, while you're there, if you click on the number of people in the live, follow everyone. We follow everyone here. There's no reason not to. As a matter of fact, the more you follow, the more that follow back, and the more visibility you will have in the algorithm
That's
when you
right.
go live yourself.
That's all right.
For
That
the
is
good
absolutely
you are and the
right.
good you do, Coach Peggy, thank you so much.
Hey,
You want to know what?
absolutely. What?
You want
I
to know
don't
what?
know. Oh, I get to get a craft. Give me a
Mm-hmm.
craft.
Let me see. I'm prepared.
Mm.
Coach Peggy, you goonie!
That's exactly right. And it matches my outfit tonight. That's awesome.
I love you.
I am a goon. Okay, I love you too, girl. We'll talk
Thanks, my
soon.
sweetheart.
Okay,
Bye.
bye, girl.
Oh, I'm gonna feel bad about that one in the morning. I even rashed out. Look. Oh, I hate that. Oh, you guys, thank you for being there. Thank you for supporting me.